Now, what we're looking at today is using Pythagoras' theorem to solve two-dimensional problems. That is just two-dimensional spaces. Tomorrow we'll be looking at three-dimensional problems. So, what we're doing when we're solving problems. This is typically the checklist or the guide to actually how to do this. Identify and draw, this is the most important thing, is drawing the right angle triangle. Okay, so if you're faced with a problem, you have to draw the problem. So many students come to me and ask questions and they haven't drawn the problem. You have to draw the problem, look for the triangle, and then solve for that. Okay, this may help solve the problem. Yes, it will help solve the problem. Label the sides with their lengths or letters as you go. If the length is unknown, use the Pythagoras theorem to solve the unknown. Solve the problem using problem by making further calculation, answering in words. Check your answer makes sense. Okay, so we're going to follow this guide. Always draw the question, then look for the triangle. Label your sides, then look for the triangle, and then solve using Pythagoras' theorem. So, two skyscrapers are located 25 meters apart, and a cable links the top of the two buildings. Find the length of the cable if the two buildings are 50 meters apart, are 50 meters and 80 meters in height. Give your answer correct to two decimal places. Okay, so we're given a bit of information here. We're given that we have to find this cable that joins these two buildings. They are 25 meters apart. We know that this one is 50 meters tall, and we know that this one is 80 meters tall. So we can see our triangle start to appear if we cut off just here and say, well, that's 50 meters. We can actually see a right angle triangle start to form. And we're like, okay, what can we gather from this? Well, we know that this side just here is 25 meters. And we know this height just here, this is 50 and this is 80. This must be the remainder of 80 minus 50, which is 30. So just here, this is 30 meters. So we can actually start to put this together, okay? Let's draw our separate triangle. This is 30, this is 25, and we have to find this length, which is our cable, which we're going to call C. Now, if we're trying to find that, we are just going to square these two numbers, plus them together, find the square root, and it will give us what C is, which is our hypotenuse. So, C squared equals 25 squared plus our 30 squared. Let's figure those out. 25 squared plus 30 squared is going to give us 1,525. 1,525. Now we want to find out what C is. That's C squared. If we square root both sides, C will equal square root of our previous answer, 39.05. Now it says correct to two decimal places, so we want to go to here. And because that's lower than 5, it's going to remain as 39.05. So this will be 39.05. Now, the question asked us in a worded question, so we have to answer in a worded answer. So, the cable, if I can spell, is 39.05 meters between the two buildings. And that's all there is. Okay? So what students typically struggle with these questions is not so much the mathematics. Like, if you think about it, this was actually very easy. The hard part is looking at all this information and making sense of it and looking and identifying the triangle. Okay? So knowing that this is 30, knowing that is 25, seeing our triangle there, that's the hard part that students struggle with. But if you have a diagram or you draw the diagram accurately based off the question, it makes it so much easier. Okay, and then you've just got to dissect, okay, what's all this information, what is the most important thing for me? Like I said at the very start of the topic, it's just the right angle. Okay, so you're just looking for the right angle triangle. That's all you've got to find and then calculate for that. Don't worry about the buildings, don't worry about the heights and all that kind of stuff. You're just like, okay, I just need to find the right angle triangle and solve for that. Okay, so don't be overwhelmed with too much information. You just need to actually boil it down and go, okay, what's the information I need? I'll calculate that, then answer in a worded answer.